Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So, AJ Goodman strikes back. AJ Goodman strikes back. He put an article out in Huffington Post. How the Young Turks help Trump get elected. Oh man, this is getting deep. This is getting deep. This is going to be a verdict episode. This is a verdict episode. So the question, did the Young Turks help Trump get elected? I kind of prefer to be I think I would prefer to be inebriated for this, but let's have the talk. Let's have the talk. Did the Young Turks help Donald Trump get elected? AJ Goodman seems to think so. Now, it's possible that AJ Goodman seems to think so because Jordan attacked him and Tim Black the other day. So let's bake that to the cake first. There's a little ire here. This is not done purely from purely objective reality. I'm slightly pissed at them. And yes, I'm going to have a go at them. So fair enough. Fair enough. But is it true? Does it have merit? Does it have a point? Is there a perspective that says, yes, these guys got Trump elected, or they helped to get Trump elected? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, maybe, I guess my feeling is, alright, so here's the thing. I didn't like that they supported Hillary. I didn't like it. And I know some people like to kind of skate this line up. Well, they didn't really support Hillary. They just said vote for Hillary. Look, Cenk did this thing, I think it was just before the election. And he comes out full bore mode, full Cenk maniac mode, and vote Hillary. It was his pitch. Going so far as to say Donald Trump could be goddamn Hitler. I mean, that's pretty intense. Now, you can say that they just said vote Hillary, and they weren't necessarily supporting her, but that looked like support to me. That looked like support to me. That looked like somebody skating the line of knowing full well that their audience is not going to like what they're saying, but at the same token, they want people to do that task. Vote Hillary. I understand they cheated you. I get it. They cheated you. Vote Hillary. All of them, for the most part, fell in line. John, Anna, Cenk. Vote Hillary. I'm going to stand in that stall. I'm going to put my name, I'm going to pull that lever with Hillary Clinton's face under that particular lever. That's what I'm going to do. I'm Cenk Uygur. And I need you to do the same thing because Donald Trump is a goddamn maniac. Now, again, I don't look down on this choice. Ultimately, Trump being a goddamn maniac is probably true. So I can understand people being fearful of that. I don't blame them for it. By the same token, there is a level of integrity that says, no, I am not co-signing something. They cheated. They subverted democracy. Not to mention they took my money because ultimately I gave to a process that was rigged. Just because Sanders didn't stand up for those people in that process doesn't in any way make the process less rigged. I can't co-sign that. There's a moral hazard in doing that. So what happens in 4 years? Presidential thing come up. They do the same thing. Are you telling me that you're saying that it's okay again? You can go ahead and co-sign the same behavior that took place where they cheated the last guy. No. No. You have to say no to that. You have to say no to that on principle. I don't give a shit who's across. You can have Satan himself running in that other party. The conversation we're having is you cheated us. I don't give a shit what's going on over there. I care about the fact that you cheated me. Because ultimately, I have no strings associated with the Republican Party. My strings are with you. If I'm going to be in this particular party, this is supposed to be the leftist party. And we have a process, and the process gets contorted and cheated because you don't necessarily like the person who the public wants. Then yeah, we have an issue. We have a problem. And I'm not going to turn around and pretend like we don't have a problem and support the person who you put up after you cheat the person who I put up. Now, does the fact that the Young Turks made that choice based on we're terrified. We're the Young Turks. We're terrified of Donald Trump. So I need you guys to vote Hillary Clinton. Does that in and of itself put a situation of him helping to elect Trump? That's hard to know, man. Like, you have 3 million subscribers. Are those 3 million subscribers enough to change an election? Meaning, if TYT came out, full on, we were Bernie Sanders to the end. Bernie or bust. If Bernie Sanders doesn't get it, the fact that you cheated Sanders, we're going to run with that shit every night because you cheated our guy. And no, we're not going to say vote Hillary Clinton. We're going to say vote Wright and Sanders. Or we're going to say vote Jill Stein. Yes, she doesn't necessarily have a good chance of winning. But no, I'm not co-signing what took place in the primaries. That's what I'm getting at. Ultimately, a lot of the stuff boils down to what was the choice that was made? And why did you make that choice? And did you make that choice based on a level of integrity, or did you make that choice based on fear? I don't look down on you for making the choice based on fear. Emotionally, I feel a particular way about it. But intellectually, I do not look down on you for that choice. H.A. Goodman seems to think that that particular choice affected the election somehow. Not TYT alone, no. I don't believe that that choice affected the election in that way. What I mean is, you had multiple organizations who turned around and said, oh my God, we're terrified, vote Hillary. Now, does it get to the point that social media has a level of impact that can change those things? I don't know. I don't think so. Is the fact that TYT turned tail to vote for Hillary Clinton in some way help Donald Trump? If you're making the case that anything that helped Hillary Clinton helped Donald Trump, then yes. But you also have to get into this idea of, to what effect did that have? Like, what was the measurement of effect? What impact did TYT have? What were the number of people that made the decision to vote for Hillary Clinton because of TYT? What would have been the number of people who would have chose to not vote for Hillary Clinton because of TYT? And I think that's what he's getting at. Meaning, if TYT was, from the beginning and to the end, look, they cheated us. We have 3 million subscribers. They cheated us, goddammit. None of you people should vote for Hillary Clinton. All of you people should vote for Jill Stein. Not because Jill Stein may win, but because the Democratic Party doesn't deserve to win. Would that change the outcome in that way? Meaning, does that put pressure on the Democratic Party? They say, holy shit, we have a problem. We have 3 million people who made the decision not to vote for us. That's an issue. Maybe. Maybe. Hillary Clinton wouldn't even come on TYT, so bake that into the cake. But beyond that, it's one of those things of, yes, I wish they would have did it. I understand why they didn't do it, but yes, I wish they would have did it. That's, again, a different question on whether or not TYT would have changed the impact, or had impact. Meaning, if they would have went full bore, they've cheated us. We're not supporting somebody who cheated us. And God damn it, don't vote to co-sign somebody who cheated us. I don't care that Donald Trump is a monster. Don't vote to co-sign the person who cheated us. That would be strong as hell. That would be absolutely strong. Because understand, TYT is an establishment. It's an establishment. Part of the reason they're getting all this flack from these lefties, some of this flack is undeserved. But part of the reason they're getting this flack is they've become an establishment. The problem is they're a leftist establishment, and leftists are immensely distrustful of establishments. It comes with the process. It is what it is. Them voting this way for Hillary Clinton did not help that at all. If they would have gone full on Bernie or bust, would that have changed things? I don't think they would have changed things. Like, I don't think TYT saying, we're putting our stake in the ground, would that have changed the course of the election? No. Would it have helped them? Yes. Would it have helped bring a spotlight to the fact that Sanders was cheated? Yes. Yes. When they pulled Cenk on these interviews, and that's the case he's making, Bernie or bust because he's got cheated us, would that have helped? Yes. Those things would have helped. All those things would have helped. But that's a different question. The question that H.A. Goodman is raising is, were those things enough to help Trump get elected? Help is too murky. It's too murky. Like, you can't answer that question in that way. Because ultimately the answer is going to be yes, just because help is so subjective, if that makes sense. Anything that helps Hillary Clinton gets elected, in that sense, helps Trump gets elected. That's the argument he's using. If that argument is being made, yes. Because help is, again, a murky thing. But if you're trying to get into numbers, and you're trying to be very specific, and you're trying to go beyond the murky subjective, yes, they help Clinton, and by helping Clinton, they help Trump. If you're trying to go beyond that for numbers, you have to think of the converse. Meaning, if they would have said Bernie or bust, would that have done anything to help Bernie or stop Clinton in that way? Then the answer becomes no. I don't think that would have stopped them. Meaning, this question is somewhat... I need to reframe this question to make it make more sense. Because it needs to be asked in two ways. There are two perspectives. How the Young Turks helped Trump get elected. Ultimately, this question is, because they helped Clinton, they helped Trump, with this idea that the fact that Clinton exceeded the primaries helped Trump get elected because Clinton helped Trump beat Clinton. That's murky, meaning the answer to that is going to be yes, because the answer is somewhat subjective. If we're taking the converse opinion on this and saying, okay, the flip of that answer is, if the Young Turks had put their feet in the ground, put their boots in the ground saying, yes, we're Bernie or bust, those people cheated our candidate, and we're not supporting a Democratic Party that cheated our candidate. Would that have affected things? Meaning, would that have any way prevented Hillary Clinton from getting the nomination? My answer is no. The reason why I say the answer is no, I don't think that would have been enough to stop her from getting the nomination. They might have made us think about it. Other people might have noticed that they were making us think about it. They should have made us think about it. But it is a different question of whether or not they would have said, they would have had any impact whatsoever on her getting that nomination. The reason why I'm doing both of these is because ultimately, yes, even the first question is subjectively true. The first question doesn't really get at the heart of the matter of whether or not TYT had an impact to control any outcome of that election. I don't think they did. I don't think they did. I'm trying to break this question down in ways that can make a little bit more sense depending on the perspective you're looking at it. Yes, they helped Clinton get elected. Yes, anything that helps Clinton get elected in that sense is, yes, you can say, helped Trump get elected because Clinton was such a failure. But come on, TYT doesn't have that pull to make that control on whether or not Clinton or Trump gets elected. That's not fair. That one's not fair. Like, I understand where he's coming from. And yes, they should have put their feet in the ground. Yes, they're trying to help Hillary Clinton. And yes, in helping Hillary Clinton, they lost. They lost it all. That's fair. That's true. But that's a truth that doesn't really give you any information. That's a truth that gives you a mistaken perspective. Because that truth completely forgets the fact of, okay, what's the contrary? If TYT did that, if TYT put their boots in the ground, will we have a different outcome? No. No. Can't say TYT put Trump in that office. That's not fair. It's not fair. You can say they helped Clinton get elected. Okay. Or at least help Clinton get through the primaries. Maybe. But you can't say that they helped Trump get elected. That is so not fair. That's beyond the pale. That's totally beyond the pale. Look, I like H.A. Goodman's article. This article is right. What he's saying is correct. I'm just saying it gives a certain mistaken impression of influence that TYT does not have. My verdict is no. TYT did not put Trump in that office. Secondary verdict is yes, they did help Hillary Clinton. Or they did support Hillary Clinton in that sense. But that support didn't get Trump elected. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. I understand what Goodman is saying. If he's saying that helping Hillary Clinton, by virtue of helping Hillary Clinton, he helped Trump get elected. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I agree with the stuff he said in the article. But again, that next step is, if they would have did what he's saying, would that have stopped Donald Trump from getting elected? No. Would that have stopped Hillary Clinton from exceeding in the primaries? No. No, Hillary Clinton wouldn't even go on TYT. So no, I don't think that would have stopped anything. I don't think that would have changed anything in this particular process that took place. So yes, the article that he's saying is true. I'm just making the point that it wasn't really helping Trump get elected. Trump got elected on his own steam. This case of, yes, you've helped Hillary Clinton, so by virtue of helping Hillary Clinton, you helped Trump. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. They don't have that influence. They don't have that power to do that. I agree with everything he says in the article. What I disagree with is the opinion of the article, if that makes sense. It's like it's what the article is trying to say, I disagree with. What the article said, I agree with. Meaning I agree with the details in the article. I don't agree with the overarching narrative of the article. Meaning, yes, the details that you're saying are true. Well, what that truth doesn't necessarily add up to whether or not they help them get Trump elected. That's all I'm saying. The article is good. You can read the article yourself. Let me know what you think. Maybe you think I'm off on this. But yeah, they shouldn't have helped the DNC. Or at the very least, they shouldn't have supported Clinton. I fucking agree with that. Full on. Changing their minds and not helping Sanders. Or essentially make a determination to say, okay, we're going to support Clinton. That's not enough. Like, that's not enough to say that got Trump elected, if that's what I mean. Yes, the details, he's right. Yes, each and every detail that he points out is right. But do those details add up to TYT helping Trump get elected? No. No honest opinion is going to look at that and say, because TYT decided that they were going to support Hillary Clinton, even though they didn't want to, they decided they were going to support Hillary Clinton, that in some way emboldened Trump's election. I don't know how that takes place. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see that one. I agree with him on the details. Again, I just disagree with overarching narratives. Yes, TYT shouldn't have helped in that sense. They shouldn't have supported Clinton. Not after what took place in the primaries. They should not have supported her. I agree. But you're asking the question of whether or not them supporting her in some way helped her get elected. For that question to be answered, you have to ask the question of if TYT said, yes, we're going to be Bernie or bust, would them being Bernie or bust have changed anything? That's the point. That's the crux of the argument that I'm making. Like him putting the argument this way has to address that particular thing. I don't think it addresses that thing. I don't think them being Bernie or bust would have changed things. I don't think it would have made a difference. So no, I don't think they helped Trump get elected. I get what he's saying, but no, I disagree. You have my thought process and how I disagree, so feel free to point out anything that I missed. I'll try to get a little bit more context to the entirety of the question. And I may have gotten stuck in a few places because I'm trying to step through each of the concepts that are being raised on this. But just to be very, very clear, I understand with what he's saying at each particular point of the article. I agree with the details of the article. But the article needs to address the assertion of, if TYT did what he said, if TYT said, no, we're putting our boots in the ground, we're not supporting a candidate who cheated our guy, we're not doing it. I don't give a shit if Satan himself is on the other side. If TYT would have said that, would that have been enough to prevent Clinton from taking the nomination? No, I don't think so. Because I don't think that would have been enough, then I can't say that they helped Trump get elected. Meaning, yes, they turned tail at the last minute and started supporting Hillary Clinton. But Hillary Clinton had already exceeded the process. Meaning, if they would have said, we're Bernie or bust, you would have had to get Hillary Clinton to say, okay, all these people are saying, 3 million people, 3 million subscribers are not going to vote for me. And somehow the DNC is going to make some different choice based on that. I don't think they would have made a different choice based on that at all. I don't think they would have made a choice. They had all those Bernie Sanders people who were pissed. And they assumed that those people were going to fall in line at some point. Now, TYT did fall in line at a certain point. But if they hadn't fell in line, would that have changed the way the DNC operated? I just don't see it. I don't think so. I think those people were craven as all hell. And I think those people wanted Hillary Clinton. And they were going to put Hillary Clinton in regardless. TYT changing their mind at the last minute after the process, for the most part, had ended. I just don't see the influence. Yes, they should have been Bernie and bust on principle. Yes, I see that. But we're asking the question on whether or not TYT helped get Donald Trump elected. I don't see it. Yes, they were doing the loser Donald segments. Yes, they stopped focusing on Hillary Clinton and the election itself. But understand, if you're saying they helped Trump get elected, you got to say that that's purely a primary thing. Once you get to the general election, Bernie Sanders is off the table. Bernie Sanders at that point becomes a company man. He's an asset of the Democratic Party. For that matter, you can say Bernie Sanders helped Trump get elected. If you're going to make that case. You can't blame TYT for him being in that office. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have somebody to blame. This is purely squarely on the DNC. So, alright guys. If you enjoy the content, feel free to share, like, subscribe, and you can always support the work through Patreon.